Hello and welcome back to Love and Hope Can LLC. Again, thank you for joining me again for another message. And this message is more geared toward our youth, but also their parents and caregivers. Um, Again, thank you and welcome, and also welcome to our new listeners. I appreciate you. And if you like what you heard, give it a thumbs up. If you want to continue to hear what I have to say, you can always press the all. And so when I upload, you'll be notified of my of whatever podcast or whatever videos that I am doing. Again, you can always share this video if you think someone really needs to hear this. Absolutely, you are welcome. And I would love for you to put in the comment section maybe a testimony, something you're dealing with, or just you want to leave a comment just for me. I appreciate that as well. Okay, so let's get started. Again, thank you for joining us. I mean, with joining me. Hey, I just want to talk about something again that has been on my heart um, and but it's been now a couple of days that I got this information, but it's not a surprise because I have been dealing with similar situations throughout the years when dealing with youth. I want to say to the caregivers and to those of you that are caring for whether your own children or it may be children that's in foster care, maybe there are just children, period. If your grandmother raising a grandchild, or children. I want to make you aware of just making sure of having a check in for your kids. That means at any time that you want to just call for that phone and check the photos and check the cookies and all of those types of things, I would strongly advise that you do so. And that's both for male and female. But this particular situation, I was talking to a very dear friend, family member, um, and he had shared with me a situation that was going on, not in his circle and something that he was dealing with, not him personally, but he was just sharing and something that he said that brought him almost to his knees as a grown man, and just it brought tears to his eyes. And I felt that when he had mentioned that because I have been in those situations as well, dealing with youth and dealing with parents that get some, devastating information about their child because their child refused to listen or never got the lesson on what to do and what not to do. And that's why I put this on today and I labeled it Guiding Our Youth because I want it to be understood that yes, when kids are away from you or feel like they can sneak around and do whatever, and they feel open enough to be able to do that without any regard or regret, that's very concerning. Now, the situation, I'm not going to tell you the whole situation, but just know that unfortunately, this 14, 15-year-old young lady had taken some pictures of herself um, totally naked in a compromising position and with her face, you know, um, wide open. Just you see the picture, you see her, and you see what she's doing to herself. And apparently, some young boy that she was liking had convinced her at some point to go ahead and do this and take pictures of herself. And I guess well, let me say this. I don't know if he convinced her. The bottom line is it falls back on her because she actually did this in a picture and sent it over to him. I'm sure at some point that he probably did ask um, and just wanted to push it to see how far he can get or whatever. But I'm very concerned because as much as I've heard of this time and time again, and I see the devastation that it brings not only to the family but to that individual that actually did that. And I just want to say to that person, first of all, it's not over. If you made a life decision that you're going to regret, I'm just want to say to you that your life is not over. um it's just going to take a strong person from this point on to be able to live with the decision and move forward and still gain your life back and even probably do much more than what you previously was doing, right? Does that make sense? Which means that your life does not end because you made a wrong decision. But I am concerned because of the decision that was made, and what are we dealing with, that a person could freely open up themselves and take a picture, send it over the World Wide Web, the internet, the text messages, all of it is connected. Um, and then it's only then when the person got caught that they had some type of regret, or because that person promised not to share the photos with someone else and they actually did, and now they're all over the place. And I think that's when the shame comes into play. Well, I'm concerned because before this point, we got to this point. Was there a lesson taught to this young lady that your body is your precious, your precious. This is you. This is you only get one body. You don't get another body. You know, this is your precious body that God has given you, and you need to protect it at all costs. It's not open to the world to see, and it shouldn't be open to the world to see, and it should not be given freely, or even if it a cost at with anybody. Because I'm gonna tell you, when you're dealing with all of this, what is called slut music now, in my opinion, it's worse than gangster rap, but it all serves its purpose in destruction of individuals in the community, what we're looking at right now. And I said what I said because I know, and it has been said, that the people that are making this type of music, they are not allowing their children to listen to it. Which is the same thing with even the creator of Facebook and Instagram, Mark Zuckerberg or whatever his name is. Um, his kids could not have the cell phones and with their accounts, with Facebook accounts and Instagram accounts and all of these other Snapchats and everything. He would not. They forbid that. So why is it okay for other people, children, to be able to have all of this stuff readily to them at such an early age? And here is where the parents step in. There needs to be some type of check-in process or something that keeps your child on their toes with regards to what can be done and what can't be done. So, in other words, if I give you this phone, there needs to be some type of restriction or some type of discipline that comes with that phone. It should not just be freely open. There should be some type of parental controls on the phone and alerts if they go to certain pages or do certain things. I'm just concerned, y'all, because this seems like it's more and more behavior of I don't care and I can do what I want to do, and and unfortunately a lot of these kids are saying this. I've witnessed this. I've seen it. I've been firsthand, and because that's their only comeback, they want to be like, oh, okay, this I can do what I want to, and you're absolutely right. You absolutely can, but is that attitude of I can do whatever I want to, are you going to be regret are you going to regret that because you made a life changing decision that at a young age that's costing you your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your self-worth, because you tried to make it seem like, oh, you knew and you have all the answers and can't nobody tell you anything. And I want to make sure that the parents, you have to check in with your son and your daughter. You cannot allow your son to do something and not allow your daughter to do it. You have to be aware. What type of websites are these kids visiting? What's going on? What's up with these social apps? Who are they meeting? Who are these people? You also have to do research. You can't be lazy. You got to question your child. You got to make it your everyday purpose of making sure that your son and daughter is sitting at a table with you, your significant other, husband, whoever it is, and y'all asking those kids about their day. Hey, check over the phone. Find the history. Contact your internet company. How can you get a history of whatever it is? You have to do your work as well. because right now I feel for this young lady, and I don't even know who she is. I really don't know who she is. I absolutely do not know who this young lady is. But when he told me the information came to me and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Only because I know what she's getting ready to face and what she's going through right now. And I understood it brought her mother to the knees like no other one. I mean, it's sort of like single moms, you can't be too busy that you're not checking in, that you're not keeping the children accountable. I'm not going to go back yesterday when I had my parents or whatever. We didn't have the cell phones. Yes, it's a different era, but there still should be some similar rules and regulations. Everything shouldn't be free. Your child's body is precious. It should be taught to him or her that you just don't give it up. Somebody asks you, can they see your child's boobies or whatever the private parts, things like that? You got to teach your daughter to know that she's much more than that. You don't show nobody anything. And I keep saying free, hey, even if it's a cost to it, there's a no that goes along with that. No, you have to hold your children accountable. But parents, I'm going to hold you accountable. Caregivers, I'm going to hold you accountable, because we as caregivers and people that help raise children and all of these types of things, we have to have a certain amount of leeway to be able to help provide and input discipline as well. I want children to succeed. Now, this young girl that's 14, 15 years old that's dealing with this is something that she's going to deal with most likely the rest of her life. Yes, she's going to be labeled. I'm not sure what's going to happen to the young man that spread it all and passed it on to his friends, and the friends passed it on. Nobody is going to have your child's back. The only person that should be really having their child's back that the child can trust is the parent or the caregiver. And when that child is wrong, that child needs to be told that he or she is wrong. You could be friends later on when they get older and still be a parent. Right now, it's not time for friendship with your child, because of whatever situation that you may be going through and not having a significant other and all of this and all of that, and telling these young men that they the king of the household and they this and this. Y'all should tell these kids this. And I'm telling you this. They may be young and growing up. They still have a lot more learning to do. I understand that you want to teach them that they are this, and you don't want them to teach, you don't want to teach them the other opposite of being a king. I get that. But you're nurturing one. You're helping to nurture your children. So should no child be running a grown person's household? And if you as the adult that's in the household and you know you're not doing something right, or you coming short with something, or you being lazy, that needs to be corrected as well. Have talks with your children. Should no parent or child be at odds with each other? If someone has hurt you, ask for forgiveness, because the forgiveness is for you. And I'm saying this because in order for you to, and then teach your children, teach your young girl, your young teenage daughter and things like that, with the body and the changing, and the young boy when he changes and his body changes as well. There's a level of intimacy and giving up your body and your soul without thinking about it thoroughly, that has consequences. How many people have you ever talked to that gave up their virginity at 11, 12, 13 years old, said, I wish I would have waited. I wish I would have done it. You can't follow the group. The group is going to lead you over a cliff. And I guarantee you the group that's telling you this and the people you hanging around are lying, because they don't want to be the only one in the group that's dealt with it. They want you to get in on it, just like most likely like drugs and stuff. It may be the best high they ever had, but I guarantee you'll never reach that high again. That's why you're chasing it. Be careful. Talk to your children. It's mandatory. And like I said before, all of this slut music that's out here now, and it's like the women are winning. No, we're not winning. Not in my eyes, and that's my opinion. Yeah, we're very smart. And yes, we have what it takes to be able to get a guy's attention or another female's attention. We have that. But do you have to use it in such a divisive type situation? Because I guarantee you, these young girls and this young lady that took the picture and posed and did what she did with her body, all of these types of stuff, she wasn't taught about the level of intimacy. You can't do that. You can't just up and up and give up your body and your soul. You just can't. Because if you're giving up your body and soul to everybody that asks for it, what is it that you're going to have for someone that you really fall in love with, that loves you? Are you being taught how to love the proper way? What's the proper way? What is a good touch, a bad touch? All of those things. If you got some grown man sniffing around a teenager, that's a pedophile. That is a pedophile. And I say the same for any grown women slipping around young boys and girls. Those are pedophiles. And those are bad touches. I know they say they don't want to teach good and bad touches no more, but please use the language that's going to work for these kids. It's unreal right now what's going on and the level of what this social media is producing with our kids. I see all this stuff on here with these young mothers and these mothers on here just cussing each other out, having fights in the street and all these other type of things with their babies in their hand, dropping the babies. People don't care if you're pregnant. They're coming up and kicking you. There's no level of respect. And it's like, I'm going to win out at all costs. Well, the same thing, you bring this attitude over in another arena. And that arena is putting your body and sexualizing yourself on text messages, on videos and all of these types of things, and thinking nobody is going to find out about it. Come on, you got to talk about it. Because if you don't, somebody with ill intentions, they're going to talk about it and they're going to try it with your child. Stop leaving your child with your new boyfriend. And I want the parents to really understand this. And I'm going to talk about this over and over and over again. Stop leaving because you may be a single mom or you working 1 or 2 jobs and you can't afford childcare right yet. Get the resources you need. Call the care places around in your county or whatever. I always say that. Go call your helpline and find. But at the same time, because you have listen, I wouldn't even lead in a conversation. If I was dating or anything, I wouldn't tell nobody I had kids. I really wouldn't, because you have now so many people that's looking to get in the homes of these young women who are desperate for love and desperate for attention. And they learn that you have children. They gain your trust. You're going out to the store. You're going to work. Oh, I'll take care of them. I'll feed them. I'll do this. And next thing you know, your child is acting weird, really weird and standoffish, not talking or doing just the opposite, going to opposite ends of the spectrum, shutting down, not saying anything. Or when the child tell you, "Oh, mom, I want to go with you. I want to do." "Oh, you stay here. I'm going to run. I'll be right back." Instead of listening to your child, because it's all about you and what you're feeling. Come on, let's talk about it. You got these grown men, these men that have never been taught how to really love, and they probably messed up because they probably was abused when they were little, and so they find a woman or a young girl or a young can't even say lady now, and want to move in with them, and next thing you know, you done met them, they moving in too. They spend the night and carrying on. You got your young girls or young boy in the next room, and you never considered that person is now in. That's a predator. You have men that are perpetrating and that are predatory against these young kids, and you not even paying attention. And next thing you know, they done perpetrated on your children. And your child don't want to go to school, want to go out, want to wear these different types of clothes or cover up. It's to whatever extreme. They're faking their happiness. They can't tell you because he done threaten or she done threaten that if you tell your mom, I'm going to kill all y'all. But if you start out in the beginning and you start now and talking to your kids, listen, and it's okay to apologize when you feel like you're wrong to your kids. It doesn't take you out of your role as being a parent or a disciplinarian. You just let them know that you're human. And you say, hey, I'm sorry. We didn't really have a chance to talk and anything and be around the table. I want to know what's going on. Forgive mama. Let your kids know. Talk to your children. I'm telling you, it's of most importance that you talk to your children and relate to your children. There's nothing that should come between you and your children. Not a liquor bottle, not a joint, not a blunt, nothing. You should talk to your children. There's nothing that a club can offer you more than your children, your child's attention. You find somebody that is worthy to come watch your children. You make a deal and say this, and I'm saying this in terms of the big mamas and people who used to watch your children. Don't do away with the older generation. They need to make a little money too. You don't just leave your child alone with somebody that you just met, or period. I'm telling you, because I've dealt with cases that has dealt with children, and over the years, because I've been doing this about 30 years, I've seen it. I've heard it. I've seen the pictures. The results of the lack of attention that parents or caregivers give their children. And for these foster care homes, you have a lot of good foster care homes, but then you have a lot that don't care, and all they care about is that dollar. You have that exists. If God blessed you with children, you turn around and bless God by doing the best that you can by your children. If you can, the best that you can. And if you're struggling, you let somebody know you're struggling and that you need food and that you need certain things. There's no shame in that. You just get better. If you feel like you can't take care of your kids and you know that you've trusted, you see a friend or somebody at the church or wherever you go to, you think that they can offer a little bit better until you get yourself together, ask. But be fair in your giving. If you're getting, welfare and stuff like that and food stamps, you go and you give them the fair share of what needs to be taken care of by the food stamps and things. They say it takes a village, but it really takes the parents to pay attention. And then the village comes in and support where the support is needed. The village shouldn't do it all for you. They just can't do it all for you. Maybe over here you need a little bit of lesson when it comes to cooking, maybe growing food. Maybe the village on this side can help you. Maybe the village over here, hey, this is what worked with me. Instead of hitting and beating on your child, this is what I've done with my child in order to implement the discipline and things. Over here, a parent will tell you, hey, I'm my friend's child when they get, maybe I'm not my child's favorite person, but I'm their parent. I'm not supposed to be liked, loved by my child because my child feels a certain way because I discipline them. I'm going to love my child regardless. And whenever their feelings get hurt, they can feel the way that they want to feel. But I'm still going to be the provider that I need to be for my child or my children. I seen something on Facebook about a couple of years ago where this mother was actually pushing her child out there to fight some other kids. And her child was so wrong. It's only then when the village came together, these young folks came together and wanted to tear her child up. Now she want to be calling the police and carrying on. But you done told that girl to go out there and fight many times, and she did. But when the shoe was on the other foot. So I'm coming to you to say, guiding our youth in every way possible. Okay, in their life. For your young girls that's growing up, that's developing, that can possibly start her menses at 9, that's early. She can get pregnant. for these young boys and developing and the things that they're doing. You have to talk to your children. If you don't know how, you have a trusted individual to do it, that's fine. But I'm going to say to you parents one more time, you single moms and people who really feel like they need somebody by their side to help them raise their children, and you bring anybody in and over your children don't know a daddy because it's 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, 8, 9, 10 of them that's been in their life since they've been in this world, and they only 7. You need to be careful, and I'm screaming this from the top of my lungs because there are men out here that's focusing on young single mothers that see that they need help, and they're gonna come in wood and what is it called, in wolf clothing, to pretend like they sheep. Wait a minute, the sheep clothing, right? Okay, I twisted that all up, but anyway, a wolf in sheep's clothing. They come to be they come to seek out your children instead of you. They may have sex with you, but then they probably have some issues wrong sexually when they're with you. You say, what's going on? And all of a sudden they want to be alone or take the kids somewhere. You just got to be careful. Don't be so close. Close your mind off to what can possibly. Just be that protective person, and stop bringing people in and around your children. You just can't. The kids deserve to win. And I say that all the time. Set your children up to win, but also teach them disciplines, teach them how to make right decisions, making life-changing decisions that you don't want them to regret when they get older or young adult. Allow them to be young children, young kids, but you got to have a careful eye, a careful watch over your children. Guiding our youth is so important right now in this day and time. Year 2022. I did another video last week regarding just what's going to happen this summer with our children. What are they going to be in programs? Are they going to be roaming the street, getting into trouble, fighting, guns? Are you going to have to bury your kid this year, this summer? I don't know. Parents should be working on right now for what is to come for the summer. So your child, if you're at work, your child is in a program during the day. Ask for scholarships. Ask your city if they have some money towards a scholarship for you to go into, so your child or your children can be taken care of. Ask questions. Go in and meet with the people. Just don't send your children there. See who's going to be over your kids. And does these workers that's working with your kids, are they going to be along with the kids at any amount of time? And if so, for what reason? Ask the right questions. I used to tell parents all the time, ask questions. Don't just be accepting anything. If your child is dealing, if she's a female and dealing with a male counselor, whatever, there should always be a door open. There should always be somebody right there in that vicinity to find out, and to keep watch over the children. Because right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, trust level for people and these freaks out here in the street, and people that's eyeballing kids and stealing kids and doing everything like this and putting kids in trafficking situations. You better wake up. Guiding our youth. Talk to them. Don't forget to be there for your kid because something else is considered more important. Don't tell these men you got kids right off. See how they treat you. Be careful. Get a background check. Yes, you are at that point. Get a background check off people. If you're looking to date somebody, get a background check. And that's a FBI and a BCI from the state you in right now, and an FBI that goes across the nation. I don't know about the international one. Something to think about. The dangers of sending pics of your your body parts over the net is serious. That is so serious. That child is dealing with something of one of the something that is in that child that she deems not important, that she deems not precious, that her body is just open to anybody that asks. The children deserve better. Knowing when to say no when somebody asks you to expose yourself. You have to work on the self-esteem and confidence. The father of the children may not be there, but hey, there are people that are willing to step up. You just gotta, but you gotta be very careful. It's important. It's important. It is really important for the child to have a balance in their life. And if that just cannot happen, prayer does some things, but also God gave us a conscious and decision making options to be able to make sure things get done right. But listen, I done talked 30 minutes, about 30 minutes, and a little bit over where I wanted to go, but I just had to come at it like this today because social media is something you got to check up on your children. Phone check should be at any time of the day, night, mid morning, when they sleep at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, open up this phone. Let's see what's going on. You have to be that concerned about your children. And also don't forget to sit down at the table and eat together. Make it matter. Make it matter. I'm just saying, make it matter. Make every moment matter. With that being said, listen, I thank you for joining me on today. I really appreciate you and your time. And just to take these moments to just sit down. I hope I'm talking right, but I'm also hoping that people really take some of the advice in which I am giving at this point in this podcast here. I really want to make sure that our children are protected and our children are guided with the best instruction, if at all possible. Okay. With that being said, again, thank you. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to my channel and also give a thumbs up. And if you would like to leave a comment based on what you heard, or if you have an example of something that you want to share, please do so. And again, thank you so, so very much. Have a blessed day. Bye. Oh, peace and blessings.